Ahlan, Maui and Trizzy here. We did a day trip out to Alexandria at the end of our 2-week trip in Egypt. We believe one day is enough to see all the major sites around Alexandria, but some say the nightlife is fun here, so if you want to see about that, you can choose to spend the night. Alexandria was a 2.5-hour car ride from Cairo. We booked our private tour with iEgypt for $100 USD per person, which included round-trip transportation, tour guide, admission fees, and a lunch. With the 7 a.m. pickup, we were on our way to Alexandria from our hotel in Cairo. But first, coffee for Maui.
Thank you, Shukran.
Alexandria was founded by Alexander the Great. It's the second largest city in Egypt after Cairo. Located along the Mediterranean Sea and north of Cairo, our first stop was to the Citadel of Qaitbay, where one of the 7 ancient wonders of the world once stood, the Pharaoh's Lighthouse, also known as Lighthouse of Alexandria. It was destructed by earthquakes. So after the lighthouse fell, the Citadel of Qaitbay acted as a fortress for protection against the Ottoman Empire. However, the current structure is not the original fortress, as the original was damaged by the British. Parts of the building were salvaged from the original architecture, and the reconstruction of the now Citadel started around the 20th century. Inside the fortress was a delight to roam around. There are many steps to walk up, halls to walk through.
Look at that wind.
And several rooms to enter with openings to view the beauty of the Mediterranean Sea. When we got to the outside, we realized how big Alexandria was, with a view of the port city. Somewhere in the depths of the Mediterranean Sea houses ancient ruins, statues of pharaohs, and sphinxes. We are not sure that there are any legitimate diving tour companies for this just yet. You'll encounter a lot of local families and students around the grounds here. Some were so fascinated by us foreigners and wanted to practice their English with us, and grab some selfies. We rode down the streets of Alexandria to our next stop, the Catacombs of Shuqafa, the largest known Roman burial site in Egypt. Admission was 80 Egyptian pounds, $3 USD. Our admission was handled through our tour. To visit the burial, we walked down spiral stairs that led us about 100 feet below the ground with 3 levels. Going from sections to sections was a labyrinth. There are human and animal remains here. We thought we saw everything, but we learned that what we visited was only what's been discovered. The more people dig, the more tombs will be found. The discovery of the catacombs was in 1900 when supposedly a donkey fell through a hole in the ground. Aside from burial sites, you'll see paintings depicting the mummification of Osiris, carvings of elements from Roman, Hellenistic, and Pharaonic era, chambers with well-preserved archways. Back outside of the catacombs, we walked over to the Tigrane tomb, a tomb initially located on the eastern necropolis of Alexandria that has moved because the tomb was discovered underwater with parts of it damaged, but then rebuilt when transferred. Inside the tomb, the paintings and decoration reflect the worshipping of the deity Isis. We drove past the Pompeii Pillars, the only freestanding Roman column in the city and a very popular attraction in Alexandria. We didn't get to go inside, but I guess that would be for next time. Our next stop was the Alexandria Bibliotheca. We'll just use the term library for the sake of my pronunciation. This was the largest library of the ancient times and attracted tons of scholars, historians, and book lovers from across the world. The grand structure you see standing now is not the original. It wasn't until recently, 2002, that the current Library of Alexandria was completed and reopened. We didn't go inside as time was short on this tour. This is a place we suggest people do on their own and not as a tour. But even on the outside where we stayed was pretty cool to see. The exterior had letters and symbols and even hieroglyphs from over 120 scripts. It's to showcase how vast the library welcomes their materials from all over the world. It's lunchtime now. Although the lunch views were spectacular, we didn't get any local cuisine. We had pasta and French fries. I guess the only local thing about our meal was the fluffy Egyptian bread with hummus.
It's like a basketball. It's still warm.
No. Don't get us wrong, the food was good, but we were just hoping for some local dishes. But if you're curious about where we ate, this place is called Branzino. It's known to have really good seafood, and Maui can vouch for their seafood dish. After lunch, we had some time to walk at the beach below the restaurant. We took in the last moments of being in Alexandria on the coast of the Mediterranean Sea. Back to Cairo we go for another 2.5 hours. Overall, this tour was good if you're exhausted from transiting and traveling in Egypt for 2 weeks already. However, we felt very rushed at the places we stopped at. We have to add that before the tour started, someone from the tour company met us at our hotel to collect payment, so if you think that's weird, just know it worked out for us. Alexandria was the last part of our 2-week dream trip to Egypt. If you're interested in seeing where else we went before Alexandria, check out our Egypt is for Everyone playlist. We hope we provided enough information and inspiration for your trip to Egypt. We have more adventures coming up, so don't forget to subscribe and get notified. Thanks for watching Maui and Trizzy. Shokran!